Hello and good evening. Thank you for joining me on the training. I'll introduce myself. I am Tanya Delphus. I am a bronze consultant with Evolution Travel and from Elk River, Idaho. I designed these weekly meetings because my team started growing pretty quickly and we are geographically isolated, so it was an easy way for me to communicate with the team. The special request tonight for the training was to address the issues in light of recent events that we had. So I'm just going to jump right in and get started. Pretty much every single vendor, if I can ask you all just to mute your lines, please. I'm still figuring out all the modern technology. But each vendor and property, cruise line, airline has a game plan for when there's inclement weather, especially the things that we've dealt with in the last couple weeks with the hurricanes. And again, social media kind of has a little frenzy when it comes to disgruntled travelers, things that you see online, you know, they sound awful. Most of the reason behind that is because the people who are angry isn't over the fact that, you know, a natural disaster has occurred. It's that they just don't know. They've used a search engine, they booked their trip, they have no one to contact. Us as travel agents, when you have a client who's traveling and you're trying to get in touch with the airlines, you're on hold. They're busy. So someone who doesn't have someone to go to, you know, again, if they go online and book their stuff through a search engine, they're kind of on their own. They're on their own financially, and they're on their own resourcefully. And that doesn't always have a happy ending. So that's a main reason that people are starting to use travel agents again. You know, the ease of being able to go online and book your travels all fine and dandy until you have a problem. So, and then the other reason is that they're uninformed. Again, when you use a search engine, you know, it's not full disclosure. They don't tell you all the information. Again, that's why they come to you as a travel agent to book their travel. Again, I can't stress the full disclosure to your clients enough. I'll go ahead, and if you guys ever have anyone traveling abroad, we have the sept program. I'm just going to go in there because it has a couple things that I also wanted to point out for new agents booking travel. I'm going to go ahead and go to the cafe. Can you guys see my screen all right? Okay, in Travel Cafe, if you go to Resources, which is down in the left-hand column in the Travel Cafe, and then, where is sept? Having a hard time seeing my screen, sorry. Smart Traveler Enrollment Program is at the bottom. If you just click on this, it gives you the information for any of your clients who would be traveling abroad. Again, us being travel agents, it's our responsibility to relay this information to our clients when they're traveling. And again, feel free, you guys, to go down. It walks you through everything, tells you how to do it. It's a free service. It allows U.S. citizens and nationals traveling and living abroad to enroll. So it enrolls you with the embassy or the consulate in whatever country you're traveling to. So go ahead and check that out on your own. Then I'm going to show you another. If you're under resources, up here on the top bar, it says Agent Tools, Air, Cruise. Anyways, go over to checklist. This is a very useful checklist, especially to us new agents who are booking travel. It gives you pretty much guidelines. If you go over all of these items, you're probably not going to forget anything. I have added certain things to it myself when on the list just for my own personal stuff. But again, and if you notice, when you get to number 16, it says insurance with a question mark. Again, us being travel agents, you guys, it's our responsibility to really push this. I pretty much tell my clients I don't like to book travel if they don't book insurance. There's so many things that can happen. And, you know, again, the hurricanes are an unusual circumstance. That's not an everyday occurrence. When you have people who are using airlines in the winter months, you know, you have problems with the airport for de-icing. You have all kinds of fog. You know, people are socked in. They can't get in and out. Wind shear here at our airport. We live in the valley. There's a lot of times the planes can't land or take off. So again, you know, push the insurance. And again, just an FYI, you guys, when I'm booking a client, I book them like I'm going on the trip. I want to know every single little detail that there is to know, you know, and really think things out. You know, if it's wintertime and the cheapest ticket is for a 20-minute layover and it's, you know, there might be problems with de-icing, or it's during thunderstorm season or tornado season, depending on what part of the countries you're in. And, you know, that might not be the best for your client. Even though it's the cheapest, that might not be the best, because you give them a 20-minute layover and they have to circle the airport 3 or 4 times. They're not going to make their connection. They're going to be upset. Then you're going to be on the phone fixing it. So, you know, try and preempt the problems before there is a problem. That's huge when you're booking their travel. And again, you know, you're giving a value to your clients, you guys. You know, they can go online and book their own travel. That's, you know, those aren't the clients that you're gonna get booking their travel for them. They go with you because you're giving them something they cannot get online. So I had mentioned travel insurance, you guys, is so important. Most vendor sites offer travel insurance. VAX, TAP are the two that I use the most. And right at the bottom on VAX, it'll say features. You can click on it and it explains to you what is going on with, you know, you can get the cheaper one or the more expensive one, and it tells you what it outlines. And if you're ever in doubt, you guys, just call them. Just call. Pick up the phone and call. And this kind of goes hand in hand with, you know, you're not only building a relationship with your clients, you need to build a relationship with your vendors as well. And let's just use the recent events for an example. A customer is booked into a resort and things aren't happening. You already have a telephone number because you've booked that client with them and a person to talk to. You don't have to go through the whole rigmarole of trying to find what to do next. So, you know, again, when you're booking your clients, on every single trip that I do, I pick up the telephone and go over everything that I'm going to book for the client before I ever book it. I make friends with the concierge. We have what's called a business development manager at almost all the properties that we deal with. They are there for the travel agents. That they are there to help you have your customers have a seamless, pleasant experience. And I cannot stress enough, just pick up the phone and call them. Again, full disclosure to your clients. You might find something out that it neglected to tell you on the website. Again, you want to try and preempt the issues before there ever is an issue. And that will make things go a lot smoother when there is a problem, especially a hurricane, a tornado, if an airport shuts down because of snowfall, because of wind shear. You've already got a lot of things already set up and in play before your clients have ever left. So sorry, I'm bouncing around a little bit, you guys. I talked about the travel insurance through the vendor sites. Again, I use Advantage Direct a lot, and there is no option to purchase insurance when you go through Advantage Direct. You can go in Agent Universe, and we'll just log on here, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Sorry, my computer's being pokey. So once you're in Agent Universe, I just use the search bar, and I know it's called Travel Guard. So I just type in Travel Guard. You can cruise down, it gives you the link. Click on the link. When you're here, and again, this is so important, you guys, they have all the telephone numbers for you to do. They have emails specifically for agents. They have a website specifically for agents. If you click on it, it gives you tips, different things you can do if you're not used to working with travel insurance. And the biggest thing I can say when you're booking your clients, don't ever assume anything. If it physically doesn't say it in black and white, pick up the phone and call and ask. If it's kind of double talk, you know, it doesn't really make sense to you, pick up the phone and ask someone before you book something that's not going to be good for your client. This was that link. Sorry, you guys. But again, it has all kinds of helpful links and stuff that you can go to right here just for the Travel Guard. And again, I can't stress the importance of having your clients get travel insurance. It is so, so, so important. And again, I don't know where everybody's calling from. My chat box closes when I open my share screen. But, you know, we have a lot of clients who I have clients in Ohio who, when they go to the cruise lines in Florida, they drive, you know, and they're like, well, why do I need travel insurance? Well, you know, you can get in an accident. The road can get closed because of someone else on an accident. I mean, I could give 100 million reasons why someone needs travel protection. And the cost is so inexpensive, comparatively speaking. So I know, guys, that was kind of, I threw everything at you quickly. Does anyone have any questions that I can address specific issues? No questions at all? So did you guys want me to go over some of the stuff in VAX and TAP, or? Carrie, are you there? Is there anything else you want me to cover? We'll just go over here then. We'll pop into VAX and do a. Can you guys still hear me? Go on back, do a little sample, and I'll show you, for those of you who have not booked yet, where they're at in VAX. So we're just going to make up a fake one. So, oh, where'd the fake one go? Just do fun chat. Talk to. So we're just playing here, but anyways. Thanks for your patience, you guys. My computer's being way pokey, and I do still get nervous. Trying not to say so much. So here it gives us your choice of rooms. So we're just going to click on this one, preferred. If you click on the property itself, it'll bring up an information box. And if you scroll down a little bit, it gives you all the hotel details. And always, always, you guys look for the resort fees or the other charges that the hotel is going to charge over and above your reservation that you make for your client. And be sure to give full disclosure so they get no surprises when they get to their resort. It is so important. So this is just a basic information of the hotel. Amenities are on this one. Accommodations. This is where you choose your room for your client. And again, the cheapest isn't always the better for your client. So don't ever be afraid to ask them, or give them choices. So we're just going to say they want the run of the house room. So that's what we're taking on this one. Come on, pokey computer. I love living in the mountains, but it wreaks havoc on my electronics. So, okay. And again, this is what I look for. It tells you how long their layovers are. So 55 minutes, that's cutting it close. If there's any inclement travel or any inclement weather where they're going to be traveling or where their layover is, that isn't necessarily where they're going. So these are all things that you want to research before you actually, book it for them. So hour and 22-minute layover, we're going to choose that one. Then their return flight. And this one has over a 3-hour layover. So I would, ask them, again, if you're just given a quote, I don't even do the 3-hour, I give them the shorter one. So because the cost difference isn't that much. Then if they have a problem with cost, you can always go back or whatever. So anyway, down below here was what I wanted to show you guys. So it shows your hotel. If you would like to get them a rental car, you can click on here and it'll open up options for rental cars. And again, it tells you up here if they're at which airport they're at, if they're off-site. You just have to be very vigilant when you're booking for the client. So they're not wanting to do a rental car, so then we go to features. This is where you're going to find the option for the travel insurance. Sorry for the delay, you guys. Okay, so we clicked on features. This has all different kind of things you can book for your client. And again, if it gives you details or a phone number or somewhere you can call, if there's even a question about time, what it covers, anything, do not hesitate to pick up the phone before you book your client. And everyone that I have talked to, I have never, not once, had someone be, act like they didn't have time for me on the telephone. They want us to send our clients to their venue, to their properties. So, I mean, and same with insurance, they want you to use their insurance. the activities and events, the rental cars. They are more than willing to work with you. And, you know, I'm transparent. I get on the phone, I say, hi, this is Tanya with Adventures Travel. I'm an Evolution Archer travel agent. I'm new to booking this type of travel. Do you have a minute to go over some things with me while I'm booking my client? Never once has anyone said no. They might transfer me to someone else who can help me. And they, you know, they answer every single question that I have, or point me to someone who can if they cannot. You're way better to be safe than sorry, and the phone call does not hurt. And now you've made a contact with someone, so it's very, very important. So I wanted to bring this up. All-in-one travel protection. We're going to click on that. So it gives you highlights, general information, and your travel protection. You know, it seems pretty spelled out, but again, if you have any doubts whatsoever, I like I said, before I book a client, I always call and make sure that there's not something that I've overlooked on the site, something that I didn't see. I don't have years and years of experience under my belt. I'm new, and I really don't want to make a mistake at the expense of my client if I can help it. So I will do everything in my power to not have that happen. Picking up the phone is so easy. So again, that was for that. And for those of you who do shuttles, and again, maybe they'll show the shuttles down here. Here they go. So it says round trip airport strip, round trip sedan limo. When you get into some of the other, I'm going to say and I'll just use for an example. I booked a Hawaii trip, and I booked a shuttle, and when I called the company, and I booked first, then called. So I did catch it, and I corrected it. However, when I called, they said, oh, no, it doesn't take you to your hotel. It just takes you to the pier. You get what it says. So read all the stuff very, very, very carefully. And like I said, I caught that before the client got there, made the necessary arrangements. Thank goodness it was my brother-in-law. But again, it's going to tell you all the information. So, and right here it says what's included in the price. It's between McCarran International and Strip hotels. So if they're on a hotel that's not in the Strip, you know, it might not take them there. And then they've paid for something that they cannot use, or have to pay a higher price, or go somewhere different. So just be very careful, you guys, when you're booking. Go over everything. Where can I find agent training for Hilton hotels? I want to be a specialist. I went to Travel Agent Academy, but the listings are limited. And who is this that I'm speaking to about the Hilton hotels? Please, if you can type it in the box. Gina. Okay, I would have to find out for you. I don't have it right off the top of my head. Who is on here? Nina or Caprice? You guys are, do you guys have any input on the question about the Hilton hotels? I do have it in my notes, but I have to go and research it. I can find it, Gina, if none of the girls are able to hop on and give you an answer tonight. I will find out where that training is for Hilton. Thanks, Carrie. Yeah, that's my nerves getting to me. But I figure if I just don't do it, it's not going to get put out there. So I'll work on the ums. Does anyone have any other questions relating to what we covered tonight? As far as, I'll just kind of recap. Full disclosure to your clients is so important. Pushing travel insurance or travel protection is of utmost importance. Anyone who doesn't know, I put out on our group sites, I actually made a form that I make my clients sign that says they have been told about travel insurance and they decline. Because do you know how many people called me this week that had me look up quotes for them for their trips and they didn't use me, and guess what? Now they were wanting me to fix their problem. I did everything in my power to get them going, but I didn't have access to their stuff. You know, I didn't have anything. And again, thank goodness it wasn't a client that I booked and they turned down travel insurance, because I would hate for that to happen to one of my clients, you know. Just you really, really, really need to push the insurance. If they're dead set against it, I make them sign a paper and send it to me that says, I know I'm on the hook for everything if anything happens. Because then I don't feel so guilty when, you know, they're stuck somewhere and I've really, really pushed to them that I really think they should have travel protection. And then when it happens, they can't come back on me and say, well, why didn't you tell me about travel insurance? Or I had no idea. And again, you know, we'll just go over the bad media publicity that, you know, the cruise lines get, that the airlines get. It's because people are ignorant. And I don't mean that in a bad way. They're totally ignorant of what happens when they have an emergency. So, you know, it's our job to put knowledge in place of that ignorance for our clients. So it's really, really, really important, you guys. Anyone have any more questions? I got a little blinky thing that said my session's going to end shortly. Thank you, thank you, thank you guys so much. And if you guys have questions, and feel free to PM me on my private messenger. Like I said, if I don't have the information, I will find someone that can help you. So don't hesitate to PM me or ask me for any questions, you guys. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and end this meeting. Thanks again, you guys.